मिनिमाइज। अब देखिए ये जो है यहाँ पर हमारा पिक्चर्स भी दिखाएगा और यहाँ पर हम पढ़ाएंगे भी। ठीक है, पढ़ाने के लिए हमारे एक काम कर सकते हैं, हमारा जो नोट 2 है उसे हम यहाँ पर लाएंगे तो और भी अच्छा से आप कर सकते हैं। देखिए नोट 3 है हमारा, तो नोट 3 को यहाँ पर लाएंगे और यहाँ पर हम कर सकते हैं अकॉर्डिंग टू आवर नीड। ये हमारा नोट 3 है। नोट 3 के यहाँ पर लाएंगे और बहुत ही अच्छा एक प्रोफेशनल एजुकेशनल वीडियो हम आपको बना के दिखाते हैं। ठीक है, नोट 3 लाने के बाद आपको क्या करना है, वो आपको डेस्कटॉप मोड में लाना है और डेस्कटॉप मोड में लाने के बाद बहुत ही अच्छा एक प्रोफेशनल एजुकेशनल वीडियो हम बना सकते हैं और आपको पढ़ा के भी दिखाएंगे कि किस तरह से हम पढ़ाते हैं। ठीक है, तो इस तरह से आप एक प्रोफेशनल एजुकेशनल वीडियो बना सकते हैं। तो इस तरह से हम आपको दिखाएंगे किस तरह से हम चले जाएंगे अपना डेस्कटॉप मोड में, और डेस्कटॉप मोड में जाने के बाद हमारा जो पोजीशन है वन नोट वहाँ पर आपको दिखाएंगे और वन नोट में हम करेंगे ये वाला ऑप्शन और करेंगे ओके। और हम जो 1.2 ये जो हमारा पीडीएफ है इसे हम पढ़ेंगे। ठीक है, ये 102 ये हमारा पीडीएफ है, तो ये वाला हमारा आ गया। ठीक है, अब हम यह क्या करेंगे, ये जो हमारा अभी पढ़ाते हैं। ठीक है, अभी पढ़ाना स्टार्ट करेंगे और यहाँ पर हमारा जो पिक्चर्स है वो पिक्चर्स यहाँ से यहाँ पर दिखाई देगा। ठीक है, dear friends, today we will start a new chapter, that is matter around us pure? How do we judge whether milk, ghee, butter, solid spices, mineral water or juice or that we buy from the market are pure? Have you ever noticed the wrong word pure written on the packs of these consumables? For a common person, pure means having no adulteration, but for a scientist, all these things are actually mixtures of different substances and hence not pure. For example, milk is actually a mixture of water, fat, proteins, etc. When a scientist says that something is pure, it means that all the constituent particles of the substances are the same in their chemical nature. A pure substance consists of a single type of particle. In other words, a substance is a pure single form of matter. ये हम जानते हैं. As we look around, we can see that most of the matter around us exists as mixtures of two or more pure components. For example, seawater, mineral, soil, etc. are all mixtures. What is mixture? Mixture क्या होता है? Mixtures are constituted by more than one kind of pure form of matter. We know that dissolved sodium chloride can be separated from water by the physical process of evaporation. However, sodium chloride is itself a pure substance and cannot be separated by physical process into its chemical constituents. Similarly, sugar is a substance which contains only one kind of pure matter and its composition is the same throughout. Soft drinks and soil are not single pure substances. Whatever the source of a pure substance may be, it will always have the same characteristic properties. Therefore, we can say that a mixture contains more than one pure substance. Types of mixture. What are the different types of mixtures? Depending on the nature of the components that form a mixture, we can have different types of mixtures. These are the various activities here given here, and we go to the next step. Here you see filtration. How can we filtrate one thing? This is a filter paper. You have to fold the filter paper 4 times, and after that you can filtrate. Right? This is one of the what is a solution? Solution, a solution is a homogeneous mixture of two or more substances. That is a solution. In solution, if there are two things, one is solid, another is solvent. Right? Now alloys are mixtures of two or more metals, or a metal and a non-metal, and cannot be separated into their components by physical methods. Right? That is alloys. Right? These are the different types of things. We can know all these things. What is the properties of solution? There are 3 properties. The solution is a homogeneous mixture. The particles of a solution are smaller than 1 nanometer in diameter, so they cannot be seen by naked eyes. Because of very small particle size, they do not scatter a beam of light passing through the solution, so the path of light is not visible in the solution. Now, concentration of a solution can be found out by 3 methods: mass by mass percentage. Now, you see this is by mass percentage. I am changing the color here. I am taking this red color, and right, you see mass by mass percentage of a solution. Mass of solid by mass of solution into 100%, that is mass by mass percentage of a solution. Right? And the next part is, you can see here, that is next part is this one: mass by volume percentage of a solution. That is mass of solid by volume of solution into 100%. Volume by volume percentage of a solution is volume of solid by volume of solution into 100%. These are the what is colloidal. Now we go to the colloidal solution. What is a colloidal solution? Now suspension. Non-homogeneous system like those obtained in group C in activity 2.2 in which solids are dispersed in liquids are called suspension. And these are the few properties of suspension. Suspension is a heterogeneous mixture. The particles of a suspension can be seen by the naked eye, right? And you can see that what is a colloidal solution, right? That is colloidal. The particles what the mixture obtained by group D in activity 2.2 is called a colloid or a colloidal solution. The particles of a colloid are uniformly spread throughout the solution. Due to the relatively smaller size of particles as compared to that of a suspension, the mixture appears to be homogeneous. But actually, a colloidal solution is a heterogeneous mixture. For example, milk. These are solution. And there is a effect what we call it as Tyndall effect. Now, this you can see because of the small size of the colloidal particles, we cannot see them with naked eyes. Of visible light as observed in activity 2.2. This scattering of a beam of light is called Tyndall effect after the name of the scientist who discovered this effect. Tyndall effect can also be observed when a fine beam of light enters a room through a small hole. This happens due to the scattering of light by the particles of dust and smoke in the air, right? These are the different things we can Tyndall effect. Properties of a colloid. A colloid is a heterogeneous mixture. The size of particles of a colloid is too small to be individually seen with naked eyes. Colloids are big enough to scatter a beam of light passing through it and make its path visible. They do not settle down when left undisturbed. That is, colloid is quite stable. They cannot be separated from the mixture by the process of filtration, but a special technique of separation known as centrifugation can be used to separate the colloidal particles, right? These are the various things, and you can see this is the common examples of colloids. This is dispersed phase, this is dispersing medium, this is type, and this is example. This is dispersed phase is liquid, dispersing medium is gas, and type is aerosol, right? And for example is fog, clouds, mist. Dispersed phase is solid, dispersing medium is gas, the type is aerosol, smoke, automobile, exhaust, etc. These are different types of colloids, right? Now the main difference is what is the main change of physical and chemical changes. Now what are the types of pure substances? Pure substance means we have divided it into two things. One is element and another is compound. Element means this can be metal, this can be non-metal, and it can be metalloids, right? Or there are other things also, right? These metals, these are metals, these are non-metals, and another thing is metalloid. These are what we call it as element. Elements are pure, right? And next one, what we say it is compound. A compound is a substance composed of two or more elements, chemically combined with one another in a fixed proportion, right? That is compound. For example, that is water. Here you can see that is example of compound is water, H2O, and it is fixed in the ratio of 2:1, 2 part hydrogen and 1 part oxygen. That is fixed, and that's why it is called a compound. There are many things as compound, that is chemical. All the chemical formulas we got is compound. CO2 carbon dioxide, that is also a compound, right? These are compounds, right? And these are what we call it as pure substance, right? Next one is what you see is this one, right? These are compounds. Mixtures, this is the difference between mixtures and compound. Elements or compounds just mix together to form a mixture, and no new compound is formed, that is a mixture. Compounds, elements react to form new compounds. A mixture has a variable composition. The composition of each new substance is always fixed. A mixture shows the properties of the constituent substances. The constituents can be separated fairly easily by physical methods. The constituents can be separated only by chemical or electrochemical reactions, right? These are different. Now we can see that these matter, solid, liquid, and gas can be divided into two things. One is pure substance and another is mixtures. In pure substance, we got the element and compounds. In mixtures, we got homogeneous and heterogeneous mixtures. In pure substance, we get the elements cannot be broken down to simpler substances. For example, copper, oxygen, iron, hydrogen, mercury, etc. And compounds have fixed composition, can be broken down into elements by chemical or electrochemical reactions. For example, water, methane, sugar, salt, etc. In mixtures, we have divided into two, that is homogeneous and heterogeneous. Homogeneous is uniform composition and heterogeneous is non-uniform composition. For example, sugar in water, salt in water, sulfur in carbon disulfide, water in alcohol, these are all homogeneous. And heterogeneous, for example, sand and salt, sugar and salt, oil, water in oil, etc. These are heterogeneous. What you have learned, a mixture contains more than one substance, that is element or compound mixed in any proportion. Mixtures can be separated into pure substances using appropriate separation techniques. A solution is a homogeneous mixture of two or more substances. The major component of solution is called the solvent and the minor the solute. The concentration of a solution is the amount of solute present per unit volume or per unit mass of the solution. Materials that are insoluble is a solvent and have particles that are visible to naked eyes form a suspension. A suspension is a heterogeneous mixture. Colloids are heterogeneous mixtures in which the particle size is too small to be seen with the naked eye but is big enough to scatter light. Colloids are useful in industry and daily life. The particles are called the dispersed phase, and the medium in which they are distributed is called the dispersion medium. Pure substances can be elements or compounds. An element is a form of matter that cannot be broken down by chemical reactions into simpler substances. A compound is a substance composed of two or more different types of elements chemically combined in a fixed proportion. Properties of a compound are different from its constituent elements, whereas a mixture shows the properties of its constituent elements or compound. In the next day, we will do the different exercises. Dear friends, we have completed this chapter of and in the next video we will show you the different questions answer. We will solve all the question answer in the next video, right? Dear friends, if you like this video, please subscribe, like and share. थैंक यू एवरीबॉडी फॉर वाचिंग दिस वीडियो. इसके बाद हम क्या करेंगे, जैसे हम बताएं इज मैटर अराउंड आस करने के बाद इसे हम करेंगे, चले जाएंगे अपना जो हमारा OBS स्टूडियो है, यहाँ पर करेंगे स्टॉप स्ट्रीमिंग, तो हमारी स्ट्रीमिंग स्टॉप हो जाएगा, राइट? तो हम ये करेंगे अभी स्टॉप स्ट्रीमिंग, और स्ट्रीमिंग बंद हो जाएगा, और इसके बाद हम एक प्रोफेशनली एजुकेशनल वीडियो हम कैसे बनाएं वो आपको दिखाएं, ठीक है?